The rain was falling in heavy sheets, pounding on the rusted tin roof of a shack barely standing in the mud. Inside, a young boy sat cross-legged on the cold floor, clutching a torn notebook filled with dreams no one believed in. His stomach growled from hunger, but his mind was starving for something bigger. A life that didn't smell of damp walls and despair. That night, with a candle burning low, he whispered to himself, "One day, they will know my name." His name was Aaron Blake, born in the forgotten corner of a small town where dreams came to die quietly. His father had left before Aaron could remember his face. His mother worked 2 jobs, cleaning houses by day, washing dishes by night, yet there were days when food on the table was a luxury they couldn't afford. Aaron wasn't the strongest kid, nor the smartest in class. He wore second-hand clothes that never quite fit, and shoes with soles that talked when he walked. But there was something in his eyes and intensity that made even his teachers pause for a moment. He loved drawing, making up stories, and imagining himself in worlds far from the cramped shack he called home. One night, lying on his thin mattress, he told his mother, "Ma, one day I'm going to be on the biggest stage in the world." She smiled, kissed his forehead, and whispered, "Then keep climbing, my boy, even if the world tries to pull you down." Life didn't just try to pull Aaron down, it shoved him into the dirt. When he turned 14, his mother fell gravely ill. Hospital bills piled up faster than they could be paid, and Aaron had to drop out of school to work. He became a janitor in a grocery store, mopping floors while kids his age played basketball after school. The worst was the laughter. "Dreamer boy," they called him, mocking the sketchbook he carried everywhere. "Think you'll be somebody? You can't even pay your rent." There were nights he wanted to throw that sketchbook into the fire. Nights he stared at the cracked ceiling, feeling like the world had decided his life before he even had a say. One rainy evening, he returned home to find his mother coughing violently, her hands trembling. Hit sat beside her, holding her hand. She whispered, "Aaron, promise me, no matter what happens, don't give up on your dream." The next morning, she was gone. The shack felt colder than ever. And for a moment, Aaron felt like he had nothing left to live for. A week later, while cleaning the grocery store, Aaron overheard 2 men talking about an art competition in the city. The prize, scholarship to an art academy? Something stirred inside him. A chance, he thought. Just one chance. But there was a problem. The entry fee was $50 more than what he made in a week. Aaron worked double shifts, slept barely 4 hours a night, and even skipped meals to save enough money. On the morning of the competition, he boarded the bus with his sketchbook in hand. His clothes were worn and his shoes were muddy, but his heart was on fire. The competition hall was a cathedral of talent giant canvases, vibrant colors, artists who had studied for years. Aaron found a small corner and began to draw. He didn't have fancy brushes or expensive paints, just pencils and a heart that refused to surrender. For 5 hours straight, he poured every piece of his soul onto the paper, his mother's tired smile. The shack, the rain, the hunger, the dream. When he finished, he looked around and saw art that seemed untouchable. Doubt clawed at him. No, maybe they were right. Maybe he didn't belong here. But then, one of the judges stopped in front of his piece. She studied it for a long time, then asked softly, "Who taught you to feel this much in your work?" Aaron swallowed hard. He said. Weeks passed. Aaron went back to mopping floors. Then one day a letter arrived. He had one. The scholarship took him to the city where he trained relentlessly morning to night. Studying, practicing, failing, learning, improving. He worked odd jobs to survive, but every spare second went into his craft. Years later, his work began to appear in galleries. Then came the magazine covers. Then the invitations to speak at events. 10 years after that rainy night in the shack, Aaron stood on a stage in New York City, accepting an award for International Artist of the Year. Cameras flashed, the crowd cheered, and his name echoed through the hall. In that moment, he didn't see the crowd, he saw his mother's face, smiling from somewhere beyond the lights. Aaron's story isn't just about talent. It's about refusing to let circumstances dictate your destiny. Maybe in your own shack right now, broke, overlooked, underestimated. But remember this. It's not where you start. It's where you refuse to stop that matters. The walls around you may be small, but your dream doesn't have to be. Thank you for being part of Aaron's journey today. If his story lit a fire in you, don't let it fade. Take that first step toward your own dream. And if this story inspired you, subscribe, like, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because maybe, just maybe, you'll be the reason someone else goes from shack to superstar.